We're back in Albany for the fourth and final game of the weekend as the PLL season in 2023 begins. You're watching the PLL on ESPN. It's powered by Ticketmaster. Whipsnakes Chrome. Chris Cotter alongside Ryan Boyle, Paul Carcaterra, and RB. You think about it, now we're wrapping up the weekend. Game 4, we've seen just about everything in the first 3 games. There's Sean Scanoni. The big man in goal is surprisingly and extremely light on his feet for the Chrome. We'll get an opportunity to see his athleticism today as there's a big scrum for this faceoff to start this game. Big battle. And look who comes out of there with it, Petey LaSala. Whipsnakes with possession first. Not mad at him for the new uniforms either. I like this new look for the Whips. Every team with new uniforms this year. There's Tucker Dordovic, the rookie from Georgetown. That's it to Mike Shannonchuk. And already a turnover early for the Whipsnakes.
Yeah, they Ty Warner on a moving pick there, so Warner played that wing on the faceoff and stayed on.
Shot goal! Chrome gets on the board first, and it's the big fella Mike Manley with his long pole beating Kyle Burnmore.
Mike Manley had a goal last year during the regular season, so capable in transition. That big wind-up and face dodge. I think it just catch the Whipsnakes a little off guard. You could see Bryce Young try to sneak in there. No help from Muller.
And you know what he does towards the end of that shot? He actually goes to where the pressure is of the defense, knowing that if he can get to the middle of the field more, he might take a hit, but he's going to have a way better angle.
You hitting Mike Manley as he gets to the middle?
No.
Ageless.
No thanks.
Ageless. Ageless. Big smile on his face pregame. He walks up to me and goes, still here. I'm still here.
Ball rolls out of bounds.
And he lost his shoe on that goal. Big smile, though.
Belongs to Whips once again. Petey LaSala, no stranger to staying on offense. Let's see how the Whips decide to play with him. They'll sub him out with the shorter shot clock. Rambo trying to shoulder his way in, instead coming in out of the box. Hits a defender in the back. That hurt.
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
That never even got to Scanoni.
Bernhardt took that in the back.
And you can see he is in a little bit of pain. Staying in the game. That's Sean Lully, 23. And it's just going to roll to the corner with the shot clock violation.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, and now Matt Palem, our head official, is going to check with him just to make sure he can stay in the game. And I think you're going to need a lot more than that to get Bernhardt out of the game.
Oh, that just soaks you right on, like, the shoulder blade, too, right? There's not, unless you're Chris Cotter, there's not a ton of muscle around that shoulder blade area.
That was still hurt, regardless of how much muscle you got back there. Staying in the game, though. Here's Anderson. Good. Over to Lully. Snauskas inside, try to feed it. Jackson Morrow couldn't handle it. Shot clock inside of 5. Opportunity that time missed. That was Anderson in front. With the shot clock winding down, that was actually a pretty good look for Chrome.
Yeah, nice heads-up feed there by the rookie Ferrara. Late in the shot clock.
So he occupies the right spot at Salisbury. Had like a zillion points. You see his stat lines in college?
Yeah.
Absolute insanity. Over 400 points.
Second moving pick violation.
They have had a hard time getting into the offense.
By Jackson Reed. Cotter, you like these uniforms. Good luck with the Whipsnakes numbers today.
Good luck with the Chrome's numbers, too. Both the identical colors as well. Not doing me any favors with my old eyes. We'll figure it out.
Hanley doesn't need a number.
Yeah, it's obvious. There he is. Number 26, 4th overall pick out of Penn. Clock inside of 10.
Yeah, don't like that decision by Wisnauskas. I think there was some confusion. Puglisi picked up the ball, then lost it. Chrome actually had a full 52. I think before Wisnauskas realized that, he thought it was under 10 because the shot clock hadn't fully reset there. He had a full 52 to play with there.
Yes, great point, Ryan. They did reset it. It just wasn't communicated effectively. He had no idea.
Saw the progressive game flow on the left. We'll show you a window 2 box from time to time throughout the game. Ledman powering his way in. Dordevic shoots, bounces it wide.
You need to watch with 2 and white, Tucker Dordevic, how explosive he is. I mean, he is about as aggressive of a plant foot dodger, dropping his feet into the turf for separation, as you'll find. Almost like a wide receiver coming out of a break. His first step is so explosive. Surprised they're not putting a pole on Hanley?
I am, yeah. But when you have Ty Warner, you kind of have the luxury. Not a second pole, but he's darn close.
Looked like Hanley might have had a step on him there. Steady out to send it back through X. Now Heacock coming up field. Anderson shoots, tough angle, but he scores. 5-hole.
Nifty little footwork and move by Anderson.
In that tournament, so have a little momentum coming into this year, and then you draft Sam Hanley to add to it.
Yeah, I like his steadying presence. They're going to be without Nick Turn for a bit here on military commitments. It's like, let's slot in Jackson Morrill there. 2 years ago, he was our leading scorer. Like, we're fine. We're fine.
And I also think with Sam Hanley was a quarterback at Penn. He ran the offense from up top, so you almost have bookends.
Rambo with a pass all the way across the field. Hits the pipe. And Sean Lully couldn't find the answer, but it stays with the Whips.
Seeing them switch the matchup with Rambo. I saw JT Giles Harris early. Now Manley's on 9 and white.
Dordevic scores! Tucker Dordevic, the rookie from Georgetown, on the run, his first professional goal.
The crazy part about this shot is he's actually a natural righty. He is so two-handed, he's so aggressive with his change of direction. Look at that split. And down the alley, I mean, that is a very difficult shot. When you're going east-west more than north-south and losing that angle, Ryan, this is something.
Well, they're going to need a lot of it today. Brad Smith is out, so you think of just in terms of the hierarchy. Dordevic kind of slots in like, okay, I got Brad Smith getting the pole. Shannon Chuck's there. I'm, maybe get the third matchup. No Brad Smith. A lot's going to be asked of Dordevic today.
Interesting, Carc, because that was the scheme we wanted to see more from Georgetown this year, where you get him in front of the goal. He's just such a two-way guy.
He is.
And by him isoing from behind the goal, it kind of limited some of his ballistic quickness, the side-to-side movement.
Well, that's a great point because he shot ready right off of that split.
Quick feed in front. Finished by Will Manning. So you have Tucker Dordevic's first goal as a pro and Will Manning's first goal as a member of the Whipsnakes.
Some dealing going on here, RB. What you got?
Yeah, and you've got a 5-on-5 action, so just more space to work with. LaSalle is off the side of your screen. You got a two-man game on ball. Freeze it right here. You're going to see this is Will Manny. So eventually you're going to get a rotation from his man down here on this little throwback. So as this action occurs, you're going to get a double team, a little bit of help. Actually gets lost off ball, excuse me. I thought Bernhardt rotated. It was just a nice backdoor cut by Will Manny. My apologies there.
You don't need to apologize. He's moving inside, he's grooving, and that's what he does. Will Manny off the ball is always kind of a step ahead. The veteran type lacrosse mind of a guy like that who's coached so many teams in the past. He's played in the pros since his rookie year out of UMass in 2013. I mean, he just knows how to play without the ball.
2 quick goals from the Whipsnakes tying this game up. Petey wins possession to his teammates, and now they'll look to clear. That 32-second shot clock, when you're deep in your own zone, I mean, they're already.
That's a great point.
They're already at 15 seconds on the clock, and they haven't even got it past midfield.
If you win, Ryan, you could almost never throw back now, right?
Yeah, I mean, and if you know if you're outmatched at that position, it's like, okay, we'll just force a defensive exit.
Yeah.
And Heacock's going to have to force a shot right here with 1 second left on the clock. And he got the shot off, but the Crow win the race to the end line to win possession back. So that was totally haphazard, that entire offensive possession, because they had just no time to set anything up.
Well, it shows you if you win a face-off by going back, and a guy like Petey LaSalle, who's played in college for so long, his muscle memory's like, no worries if we have to go back with it. Well, worry now.
Worries.
Whipsnakes repeatedly pulling Anderson.
Goodness gracious, Hanley just sloughs off this defender.
They might want to rethink that decision.
We're talking about all these guys, these shorties that can match him. Maybe not.
You'd love to think that Ty Warner can match up with Hanley, but he just lowers the boom. 6'5", 230. Shrugs off that little cross check, turns and fires.
And you know the beauty of this for Sam Hanley? Typically, when you watch him in college at Penn, every time he's up top and he makes a move, there's 2 defensive players right in his face.
Yes.
In the PLL, defenses trust matchups. Slides aren't as early. They have faith in defenders playing on an island. When you play against Sam Hanley, playing him on an island without support, you might have to rethink that.
So the first for Hanley.
Well, and that's exactly why I thought they'd pull him, because you let him do that, he scores a goal. Now he's got some confidence. Now he's got some juice. Now he gets in rhythm. I thought if you pulled him, you kind of eliminate that altogether.
You got to pull him.
You have the best pull maybe in professional lacrosse history.
Scanoni sees it, but allows a rebound, and Manny can't quite bury it. Rambo was able to get on the hop.
Whip's ball movement looks good suddenly in this game.
Veteran Shannon Chuck back to the far side of Ledman.
Ledman drew raves from some of the veterans earlier this week.
Good skip pass. Shannon Chuck will fire. Scanoni's there, but it gets by him.
So much for the low-scoring game. I think Shannon Chuck got Scanoni guessing a little bit here. Quinn, I don't know what your angle was on this, but it looks like Scanoni comes off this near pipe, anticipating that far side offside stick, and Shannon Chuck kind of beats him. A little surprise attack near pipe. He actually got a piece of it.
Yeah, he's upset.
There's a fine line between guessing and anticipation. And in this league, when the ball's zinging 90 to 100 miles an hour, well placed, you make a mistake, it's turn and rake. You pay for it dearly.
Scanoni, 54%, third in the PLL last year. How about the pass, though, from the rookie Ledman to thread the needle with that through pass to a step-down shooter like Mike Chanichuk. That is a beautiful dish by the rookie, 40 in white.
The five-time All-Star Chanichuk buried it. Now they're making it look easy. Connor Kirst beats Scanoni easily, and it's all Whipsnakes right now.
They have short stick defensive midfielders and guys like Connor Kirst, who played exclusively offense his entire college career.
And this is all set up by Connor Farrell rushing off the field. I've highlighted him right here. He's going to run off, and Squires wisely identifies, wait a second, we got a 6-on-5. Quick ball movement, and then Kirst has all sorts of daylight. So a heads-up play by the Whipsnakes, and that's what Petey LaSala affords you. He can stay on. You've got the wings, Kirst in particular, that can stay on. Whipsnakes take advantage of that. Situational lacrosse.
This is going to be a good battle all day long between these two face-off men. Farrell wins this one, but Earhart's all over him. Now he's got to get rid of it. And again, you don't have a lot of time to run around and run away. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything going on the offensive end. Maybe Terefenko won't wait for the shot clock to wind down. He won't, but he scores! Well, that's one way to figure out the shot clock. Just go right to the tin.
He didn't really have another option, Carc.
He didn't, and Ryan Terefenko is just an energy guy. Like, he is so good in the middle of the field. He'll represent Team USA in San Diego this summer. One of the top short stick defensive midfielders in the PLL. And what I love about the 32-second shot clock, you've seen back-to-back short stick defensive midfield goals based on the new 32. Like, okay, you played defense in the past, but guess what? You have to amp up your O game.
Colin Squires is going to get settled in here and face off for the Whips. Michael Messenger was taking that draw for Chrome.
And I love what the Chrome have done from a roster construction with regards to the 32-second face-off. They're dressing Hawes, Terefenko, Messenger, and Alex Smith. So you got 3 short stick D middies, 3 of which can play offense.
Running on the left, that shot doesn't get through. Peacock tried to feed it through traffic. Didn't work. Bernlohr now will look to clear it quickly. Puglisi. Bryce Young looking for some help. Still looking, now finds a midi checking in. Final minute of the first quarter, all knotted up at 4. Slide comes to Rambo. That pass goes wide of the mark to Lully. Keeps it on the right side to avoid the over and back. And the Whips keep it in bounds. Shot clock, though, completely winds down, though, and they've got no other choice but to dump it in the corner.
30 seconds remaining.
Now led to Hawes. Gets it in the offensive end.
And a clock's important right here, understanding clock and score here if you're Sam Handley in this Chrome group.
Ball over to the far side. Wisnauskas. Under 10 to play. Anderson. Morrow looking for a cutter front. Finds Anderson who scores! 21 and black just got lost by the defense. He was right on the doorstep with just 1.9 left to go.
Carc, that looked like that scissors cut we've been seeing all season in the college game and so far this weekend.
Yeah, Virginia has kind of mastered that in the college game. There is that scissor cut, yep. And it's the back pipe cutting, right? You're losing your angle, but if you set it high enough, you still have a chance.
That strong cut by Messenger. Morrill heads up play.
May have a challenge from Coach Stagnita. He threw the red flag on the field.
What do you think he's challenging here on this play?
It was Messenger. So Messenger was actually in the crease on that near pipe.
It was ruled a good goal on the field by the Chrome. The Whipsnakes have challenged that ruling.
So we'll be. Who needs us? We just have Matt Palem do the rest of the game.
Ruling on the field stands. Good goal.
But it's true, and that's what I love about the PLL rules. Like, why blow the whistle if a defender pushes an offensive player in? Why call the play dead?
Well, you either have to
incentivize throwing guys, offensive players into the crease.
or you have to throw the flag. So it's either a flag or in the crease. But it's like, well, it doesn't really affect anything. Just play on.
It's the right call.
The Milkman wins that final draw of the first quarter, but it's to no avail with just 1.9 remaining. Chrome and Whips. A resounding start here in Albany. Back and forth we go. Chrome with a 1-point lead as we head to the second.
Guys with ultra bright futures.
And this guy also for the Whips and Petey LaSala, but he gets handled by a veteran there, and Connor Farrell winning that draw to start this second quarter.
Connor Farrell now has won the last 3 after LaSala kind of was able to find a groove in the early stages of that first quarter. The veteran, the Milkman, responds.
Yeah, new competitor for him, so figuring out how to counter with LaSala. Now it's in LaSala's court. That was a tough pass, picked off right in front of the goal. Matt Dunn, another wily veteran. All kinds of veterans on the back end for this Whipsnakes team.
Chrome are offsides here.
Boyle has Hawkeyes.
He really
spots
does.
those out.
They missed it. Now they got too many men.
Yeah, they missed it. There's no flag down.
No, they missed it. There it is. Nope, they didn't miss it.
It's just they finally had to count it. And that'll mean the whistle will get the call.
34. 30-second technical, offsides.
Yeah, once you're offsides, you're not going to run back and try to deceive the official.
Crime's been done.
He
But
tried.
It's worth the shot.
He tried.
It's worth a try. You have to try. Yeah, you have to
That
try.
was the delay. He actually tried to sneak back. Wisnauskas on the ride. He went over.
Right.
So then he tried to sneak back. That's
Once
what,
you sneak back, though, isn't it a fait accompli? Because then they'll say, now I'm going to count knowing that you're on the other half of the field. Wait a minute.
You got to try. As a goalie, I used to run up to the midfield line and hide my stick behind my back pretending I was a defender.
Shocker, you would do that.
And then complain about it after you got caught, I'm sure. What? What are you talking about?
They just assume you're back in the goal and you're not.
Man up for the Whips. Rambo couldn't handle the pass, but he did a good job in preventing the ground ball from being picked up by Chrome. He caught. Got a better angle. Now switches to his right. Wow, how was he able to get that shot off? But he bounced it over the top. Check that door, Vic.
great feed by Rambo. Great feed by Rambo.
Great feed by Rambo. But did you see the transfer of the stick from Kessenich? Like, he anticipates the feed into his shot. Watch the way he catches this ball.
And he led him to the spot. There's a skip pass to be had, and there's a defender right in the way. So what Rambo does is spot feed Kessenich. So you can see the little help right there, that little hedge. Rambo throws into an area that Kessenich can then track, catch, switch, and deliver.
That's what kind of stood out right away. Like, he throws it to a spot, but the transfer from right to left does two things, obviously. It gets him more space in his hands free, but it also now gets to a left-handed spot where there's no defensive pressure kind of flushing out to you.
Feet set. Kessenich got those wrists, man. That's scary. That ball just pops out
One of the
stick.
smoothest strokes in the sport, Quint.
I don't know what's in the water, St. Anthony's High School, right? Like Kessenich, Tommy Schreiber, all from that same high school with wrists made of gold.
2 goals on the day for Kessenich.
Will Manny.
Yeah. Who's the shooting coach there?
Matt Palem looking to make an adjustment.
Channy's
Right,
dad
yeah,
worked
yeah,
with those guys as youth players, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everything stays.
Yeah, he's a
everything
staple
stays where
there.
it is. Hang on once. Kyle, lift that up one more time.
Getting help from Kyle Bernlohr, the goaltender.
Matty does everything.
Yeah, really does.
He?
And
It's really incredible.
He's recruiting
what he does
players to help
the
him
game.
with the cage.
Home improvements.
Give that guy an ice bath after the weekend. The energy.
He never runs out.
We're ready. We're ready.
Calling all 4 games this weekend.
They sell his jersey now online,
Do
too.
they really?
Yeah, they do.
That's
They got
genius.
44 yellows.
That's genius.
I want Hans Wittelsberger's jersey, though. We'll hold out for that one. Shot clock violation against Chrome.
They got Dordovic.
Yeah, they found him. Now Will Manny along the wing. Over here to Ledman, still with the locks flowing out of the helmet. So dangerous on the run while he was at Duke. Here, wide. Kept in play though by the Whips. Lully over to the far side. Rambo. He's gonna come upfield, very tight angle. No angle. Tucker chases it down though, stays with Whips, just 4 seconds to shoot though.
And they'll punt on the rest of this possession.
He needed to take that extra step to glory. Extra 3 or 4 steps to glory.
Well, there was a slide coming, which is why he didn't take it. But I didn't see any sort of ball side or adjacent outlet or anybody ready for the step down. So you need to see better spacing there for Whipsnakes offensively. So they are incorporating some new personnel on that side of things, so expect a little time to gel.
Hanley.
Sam Hanley's saying to himself, when's the last time I had a short stick on me?
Shoots it over the top.
6th grade?
He's probably like that big in 6th grade. Ridiculous. Bernlohr sitting on it. Didn't realize it at first. Ferrara had a really full head of steam coming upfield. Thought he might have beat him at first.
Ferrara can't believe it. You can see a little bit of frustration afterwards. Yeah, these are different goalies at this league, at this level.
Ferrara is a natural righty, but when I watched a lot of his film from Salisbury and his highlights, such a two-handed player. You saw him going up the left side, goal line extended. If that's your natural handler, you might take another step, an easier fake, right?
He telegraphed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Falling down.
He'll learn. He'll learn. We talked about it yesterday, the level of deception. There's got to be something to your shot that at least gives the goalie something to work with, you know, something to think about.
Now Hawes on Rambo. Up top. Shannon Chuck shoots, bouncer too high. As the shot clock hits 0.
Rambo has some nice passes here. Looks like Manley is doing a really strong job in terms of stopping him as a Dodger, but you see the vision of.
Surprised by that? I mean,
No, Manley is a force. I mean, that's a guy who wants to get into a fight with you at goal line extended. Like, that's a challenge for him.
Turnover right in the middle of the field. Oh, a lot on that shot from Kirst.
Heads up play there by Kirst at the midfield line with that pressure.
Lully gets it to Dordovic coming out of the box. Now Ledman. Shot flies wide of the target. Plenty of time to shoot for Whips in this possession, though. 24.
They reset it.
Yeah. Oh, 32. Yeah, they
You heard something, right? You heard it was either a pipe or a little chime.
So now it's Will Manny from X on Terefenko. Good look, Lully. Oh, Scanoni makes the save. Good look ahead. Messenger, the pass doesn't get through. Give me some bruises tonight. Some of these shots ringing off defenders in front of the crease.
Yeah, I was surprised Messenger gave that up. He's usually pretty aggressive in transition, normally takes that shot.
Here's Dordovic getting to the middle of the field, draws a lot of attention. That left Lully open. Can't turn and rake, though. Shannonchuk on the run. Rambo looking for help. He's now GLE with a short stick on him. That's Smith.
Rambo's like, where are you going?
I'll go the other way. Just make up your mind. Lully shoots. That hit off the pipe.
I'm surprised Rambo gave that up so quickly. He got the short stick switch on Smith.
Now it's Keegan Khan who rolls back. You got to call either a push or in the crease. It's got to be one or the other. It's going to be a push.
And a reset.
Extended possession here for Whipsnakes. See if Lebman can get his defender on the run. Dordovic. Scanoni makes the save.
You maybe use a timeout here if you're Chrome.
I see Sudan, he's just got his arms
I
crossed.
see him.
Ledman's throwing those skips off the dodge
is.
impressively in this game.
That's his second one, Quint. The vision of Ledman.
It's
Jackson.
a little like Kyle Dixon from your era, Ryan.
Jackson Reed is in the game. Turnover though, watch out. Chrome on the run out. Good look, Wisnauskas finishes.
Pretty much an old school classic 4-on-3 fast break. Youngsters, if you wonder why you practice them so often, it's because they still happen at the top level. Salama draws the slide, hits the point man, skip to Wisnauskas, picture perfect execution, and the lefty buries it.
I mean, it's a fine line. We saw Sisselberger yesterday. You see Connor Farrell today. Connor Farrell probably put on a few lbs of muscle in the offseason. Now he might be rethinking all that. Oh! Big hit in the middle of the field delivered by Michael Earhart. Leads to a Whipsnakes possession.
Motherfucker.
And somebody's unhappy about getting hit.
Might be the milkman.
Might be.
What I loved about that is I got the best wings of the game. You always hear that from face-off guys before the face-off. Then after a face-off loss, it's like, wings, where were you? What happened there?
That was like last night at the restaurant.
Yeah,
Where were the
where are you?
wings?
Scanoni. That was a nice job by Mike Manley anticipating the check coming on the ride.
I don't know about you guys, but I want to see Earhart on Hanley. And I know scheme-wise that Staggs is obviously doing something defensively.
And you know, we're looking at it. I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
it's
we
not
haven't
easy.
seen Sham before, but it's been a conversation.
No, so there's some history with Justin's success against you guys. Yeah, makes sense.
You know what Quint should have done based on me questioning Staggs at the draft? He should have said, Kark wants to know.
That was Kark's question, by the way, Coach.
Oh, that's great. Speaking of history.
He didn't laugh.
Yeah, Staggs and Kark have a good-natured history of good-natured ribbing each other. How about that finish? Wow. Heacock shows the number 2 on the other side of the field. He can finish with the best of them as well.
And you love to see it. Heacock last year shot just 16%. Well below his standards. He's such a big physical presence. Morrill distributing from behind the cage. I mean, Heacock's covered. I mean, he's got a guy on him. I believe it's Puglisi. I mean, he's right there. The issue is right there on Heacock is 6'3", 210. He can just muscle through any sort of soft contact.
That was incredible. I mean, he actually left his feet too. So he didn't have his core or his base when he caught that ball and he took the shot. He was in the air, off balance.
With Puglisi right in his hip.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. A couple of Maryland Terrapins. He caught getting the better of that matchup on that occasion. Now Chrome's up 2 with possession here.
Sam's got a short. You hear him yelling from the sideline.
Morrill all the way across. Ferreira. Trying to get underneath the defender. That's not going to work. Puglisi too cagey for that. Shot clock winding down. Winds all the way down without a shot.
Those turnovers are dicey because you can pick up and go.
Yeah, you need to dump that, right?
You can have turnovers from the top down or side to side, but late in the clock, from behind the cage up in front, those are the dangerous ones.
Shannonchuk. Quick shot. Wow. Will Manny on the wing. Got it from Shannonchuk and delivered in a hurry.
There's your St. Anthony's wrist, man. Will Manny. Ouch.
Both those guys, the feed and the goal.
We were talking about quick releases yesterday. I brought up Manny. I mean, this is in and out in a flash. And what you love about Manny is Jay Carlson retires. You've got this open spot at attack. You fill in with the veteran, one of the all-time leading scorers in the history of professional lacrosse. A different flavor than Carlson, but very much a, hey, I don't need the ball. I'll play off everybody else. You do your thing.
He can stretch more than Carlson.
Yes.
You saw him score inside earlier in the first quarter. But no one, and Quint, you know this too, practices more in the offseason, shoots more balls than Will Manny. His nickname is Buckets.
Bro, they've got Whipsnakes on the run. And they end up with a goal.
Jackson Morrill fills in for Brendan Nichtern. And now you have like a 2-quarterback system with Hanley and Morrill, who's got the last assist and goal.
He's one of the most underrated players in the league. You talk about the malleability. 2 years ago, he plays X as a rookie. He's their leading scorer. They get Nichtern. Nichtern takes the X spot. They bump Morrill up to midfield. Now Nichtern's out. We got to put Morrill back there. Okay, I'll just have 1 and 2, a goal and 2 assists in the first half.
His path on that play was textbook, the way he kept his feet moving.
Oh, there's nothing flashy about Morrill, just the most super fundamentally sound, great decision maker. And he's the same guy that was a part of the Yale team that won the national championship.
Quint, you were a teammate of his father's at Hopkins, right?
Yeah.
So you know Jackson Morrill well.
Multiple generations of Hall of Famers. Mike, who I played with, used to go to the field on Sundays, and his dad would put him through an hour of drills, and I'm guessing that that continued with Jackson. Very technical.
That pass gets away from Manny. Over and back. 24.8 left to go for Chrome here. Across Ferrara. Hanley coming out of the box. Nose clock is winding down. Tries to force it to Logan. Logan's gonna have to get a quick shot off at a tough angle. Not nearly enough of an angle to get it in front. Just didn't have a shot. First half in the books. As entertaining as we thought it would be. Coach Sudan has to be pleased. Chrome taking a 2-goal lead to the locker room at the half over Whipsnakes.
And you know, when he is dealing like that with the 2 assists, when you have a guy like Will Manny, a lot of times you'll give him a ball in a tight spot because you know him so well and you know his wrists and you know how quick they react, right? So he might look covered, but it's a different principle when it's Will Manny.
Milkman wins the face-off to start this second half. Connor Farrell. That is, I believe, 4 in a row for him, or 4 out of 5. So he's really starting to get the better of LaSalle, and now it's LaSalle's turn to make the adjustments.
And a defensive adjustment for Whipsnakes at halftime. Jim Stagnita puts Ty Warner down to cover an attackman. This allows another pole up top, hence Hanley's got a pole on him now.
Next shot by Heacock off a defender and straight up into the air, out of bounds on the other side of the field.
What I like about that adjustment, Cotter, is it doesn't take the pull away from Anderson, who's been a problem for them. It solves both issues. Now, it might create another one with maybe Ferrara or somebody else with short stick, but you solve the Anderson and Handley matchup problems.
But the issue there that concerned me was Michael Earhart's on Handley, and Puglisi was showing very early. And Handley can pass, so like he can get into action without beating Earhart if the Whipsnakes are going to slide prematurely.
Yeah, I'm sure Earhart's having a word with Puglisi on the sideline.
Yeah, you don't slide from him.
Jackson Reed got under his defender but couldn't beat Scanoni.
It's usually not done that kindly, Carc. Usually these defenders like will turn at each other and said, I got him, I got him. Stay away. You don't ever slide to me. The good ones. They wear it like a badge of courage.
Inside, Wisnowski's, oh, robbed by Bernlohr. Logan gets it back. Handley lost that pass. Looks like it got on him way too quick. It ends up being a turnover. Can the Whips go quickly? Puglisi. Man, he shoots. Scanoni makes the save. That was a hard shot. Progressive game flow on the save on the other, and might have to make one here quickly. Cross Ferrara, the extra pass.
Flying all over the place, but you see that save is just second look worthy. Flopping it all over the place. Kyle Bernlohr statistically only at 22% on the afternoon, but that one stole it.
Ferrara with the shot. Bernlohr again with the save. And a quick outlet pass, beautifully done.
We've got trailers, but I think they should pull this out.
It's been feverish action here to start this second half. Bounce shot high, and Scanoni makes the save. Now loose ball on the wing. That's going to be a push, possibly. Nope. That might be as well. Nope. Letting them play out there. It's going to be out of bounds toward Chrome.
One name we haven't called for Chrome all game long is Jordan McIntosh.
It's a good call, yeah. And he's maybe the most veteran offensive player on this team.
Now Messenger is stuck on the offensive side. Wisnowskis.
Good closeout by Dunn.
Morrill goal line extended. Got the shorty on him. Ferrara scores! The rookie out of Salisbury, 4th round pick in last month's draft, gets a goal.
And Morrill's dealing. That's his 3rd assist of the game. So you got Ferrara filling in for Malloy. Morrill filling in for Nickturn. Good cut there by Ferrara, a little spot feed by Morrill, leading him to the spot. The handle and finish. Incredible body control and stick control to take that hit by Kirst and get enough on it.
The double deuce. Cross Ferrara.
I like this guy.
Yeah, it's his
I like
first
this guy.
career goal in the PLL. Quint, what do you like about him? I like his toughness, his two-handedness, and his creativity.
Yeah, you know, he just seems like he fits in with this with this group, and he becomes yet another rookie to score their first career professional goal. They throw the ball on the sideline, and they wrap it up. You can take that home as a souvenir.
Scanoni's seeing the ball really well right now, and a heck of an outlet. That is gorgeous to Terefenko. Thought about taking the shot. Instead, he passed it off, and to Wisnowskis, couldn't handle it.
Logan always catches that. You rarely will see Wisnowskis. It wasn't the easiest grab. It was kind of across his face, but he's normally so sure-handed.
And it was awkward. It was a 4-on-2, actually. So he had Morrill on the right side wide open on the crease, too.
Ledman just couldn't get anything on it. Bounces around in front of the crease. Manley comes away with it. Jesse Bernhardt up to Smith. I mean, this is up and down here in this second half.
You can hear yellow being screamed from the Chrome sideline. Universal slow it down call.
Good matchup here for Anderson.
You heard Staggs talk about how he has been a killer against the Whips, 21 in white. Logan, pass inside, Morrill can't handle it. Comes out to Hanley though, good look inside of the shovel. Anderson, there he is.
It's the vision of Sam Hanley. The instincts to know right off a ground ball. The defense is in flux. 26 in black, the rookie. Finds the second-year pro out of North Carolina.
Canadian egg roll.
Yes, Justin Anderson's got the Chrome rolling up 4. You as a goaltender in terms of tracking that shot.
Just staying true and reading and reacting. Don't get too guessy. So I just got to make more play for our team right now.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you joining us under the helmet, powered by Cash App. Possession to Whipsnakes. 6.5 left to go in this third quarter. Biggest lead of the game, 4 goals for Chrome. Dordovic coming out of the box, double team. Still is able to stay with it. Doesn't get to the goal as it gets deflected wide. JT Giles Harris gives chase. Here comes Bernhardt. Up to Messenger.
Do you feel like putting JT Giles Harris on Lully is kind of a waste of a matchup from Chrome defensively?
All due respect to Lully, yes, he's the best defender maybe in the world right now.
It's 10-6, so everything's good.
No, I know it's 10.
But I do agree with you, but I think sometimes early in the year these coaches don't really want
to overthink it. Just trust it. I mean, Chrome defensively were so strong last year. #1 in settled defense efficiency. Sometimes you can overthink things.
They got 2 lefties with Manny and Rambo.
Flag on the play. This is going to be a delayed call against Whips.
It's interesting though,
Tucker gives chase.
Manley on Rambo does make sense physically speaking, right?
Foul on Whipsnakes, 34, 30-second technical interference.
You match up beef with beef, right? You put Manley on Rambo, and you have the backup plan with JT Giles Harris in your back pocket. It just feels like if he bumped up to maybe a Dordovic or something like that, you eliminate those threats more.
It makes perfect sense, but Quint's point too, it's 10-6, it's working.
No,
Look, and I think if JT and the Chrome were playing the Water Dogs, I don't think they would be playing so outside the box where he wouldn't be on a sours, right? I think the Manley-Rambo matchup probably dictated everything.
And Bernhardt is now he's going to be an off-ball defender here and able to help the middies. You know, he's a great talker. He's a great organizer. Keeps him in that role.
Man up for Chrome. Shot. Bernlor makes the save. Good save.
Sometimes early in the year, though, I get the sense it's more about us and a little less about them.
Yeah, I totally get it. I was asking more from just a thought exercise standpoint, because they're up 10-6, but I mean, Lully's not going to challenge Giles Harris the entire game.
He will not go to the goal on it. Maybe he'll beat him off ball, off a pick or inside, but he is not going to take him anywhere in the perimeter.
This is a really good Chrome defense, so they look good on paper, obviously, with who they are, but these D-mids and this close D, this is going to be an extremely solid group.
Jaws, one of the D-mids. Ledman hit the pipe. Now they're going to call this a goal. Are they? They're checking it out.
Maddie saw it.
Yeah, it is a goal. All kinds of firsts in this game.
The beauty of this, though, Maddie will go under the tent, and he'll look at this because we have review. The locks of Garrett
same guy,
Ledman.
Cark, too, right? Ledman?
Yeah. Elaborate a little bit on that one, Quint, for the fans just viewing.
NCAA semifinals, Penn State Duke tied up in overtime. Ledman, the guy who stepped on the crease, goal was good. No video review exists to reverse the call because his foot was on the line.
Let's take a look at this one. This might be a good shot. Maybe too fast to see on that. Let's see.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell on that shot. You can't say one way or another.
You can see something?
Well, it's how the ball bounces out. If it comes out up, like up into the air, that means it did hit that the piece of metal that lays on the turf.
It didn't though. It hit the pipe.
The pipe that lays on the ground in the goal,
the
or the
upright
pipe
at
at the base of the goal line?
When I saw it, it hits directly in the corner, that corner piece of pipe.
They're saying goal's good.
Ledman's first. And it gets the Whips back to within 3.
Quint was mentioning about this defense and being a buyer of it. You have these 3 close defenders. You have a shutdown guy in Giles Harris. Quint mentioning a quarterback in Bernhardt, and then the KG vet Manley. And then you have these shorties that you could play on an island, Boyle. Like this defense is on to something.
If that had been called no goal, I don't think there was enough video to call it a goal.
Shot clock violation.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
There was no way you're going to overturn it one way or another. Whatever it was called on the field, that's the way it is.
Right?
To me, that didn't look like a goal.
You surprised they didn't throw a flag and review it?
I'm not, just based off kind of the bang angles that we had. I didn't think that was a goal.
Messenger and Warner, man, that is some physical play. Cursed. Cursed subs off. He got an open look. Not on target, though, for Dordovic.
He's going to be kicking himself tomorrow for that one.
10 yards out.
Two-man Michael. Drive.
Rambo now looking for a Shannon Chuck pick. Didn't get it.
Manley's laying wood, man.
Oof. Ledman loses it initially. Tries to kick it back to himself. Haas tracks it down. Good look as we go the other way.
I think it was good help on Ledman by Bernhardt.
Beat me to the punch, Quint.
Yeah, that split was vicious, and next thing you know, there's 36 out of nowhere.
That's exactly what you referenced earlier, kind of the orchestrator, commander inside.
McIntosh normally doesn't drop that one. I mean, that's what he's kind of born and paid to do, right?
Very atypical for him.
Oh, good look. Warner finishes it. Will Manny. That pickup paid huge dividends for Whipsnakes in their first game with him in teal and red.
And this shows a ton of trust. We saw Warner in the championship series, Cotter, showing off some of his offensive prowess.
Yes.
You love the carryover now to the opening of the season. Warner's just going to cut right down the defense. I mean, Salama's there. This is a touch feed leading Warner into space. The beautiful catch and release.
I'll tell you what that was. Will Manny is looking at Ty Warner as a new teammate, just assuming he's an offensive committee cutting, right? And can catch it across his body, and he warrants another look. If that similar scenario pops, give Warner that shot.
We were joking with Warner, Cotter. Remember in Virginia, like, hey, you're an omitty now.
Yeah, well, he and Smith both for Chrome were guys that had great tournaments. Now, I know it's a different brand of lacrosse. It's up and down. It's much more wide open. But they showed that prowess on the offensive end, the ability to finish.
I think the short stick D-middies are going to have huge number increases this year because of the rule change, the 32 seconds. on a face-off win off the wings. I think there's going to be, as there's a shot clock violation here, there's so much meat on the bone for these short stick D middies to statistically have career years.
I mean, Nakai Montgomery looked like a league MVP.
He had 3
in their
assists
opener.
yesterday.
Yeah. 3 assists, 6 ground balls.
Yeah.
Scanoni, no problem, slides over to make that save.
And that's what I've loved about how this Chrome roster construction, dressing those 4 guys.
Got it back to Rambo. Got his defender hung up. Now he can go up front. Dordovic, too high.
You know, the 4 guys they're dressing, to me, and it's a great point by you, providing depth in that spot. It's more than just playing defense. It's giving you more options on the wings now, right? So now you can have sets of guys playing the short stick D midi position on the wings, because you're going to tire guys out with that short 32.
I mean, he's going right here. He's going.
Oh, shoots. Bernlor makes the save. And both these goalies are throwing great outlet passes.
Good find.
We thought Warner was going to shoot a 2 there. Clock winding down. This is going to be a turnover. Just two seconds left.
The last point of the 4 short sticks. You know who loves it also?
Who?
Or the offensive midfielders who don't have to wait as long in line to get in.
You're right. Yep.
One product, played his college lacrosse at UMass.
He was feeling the music.
He was.
Long Island guys know a good beat when they hear one.
Always does, man. He's always in rhythm.
I like that he uses his full name. Michael.
There's a flag on the field.
Terry is obviously Tarafinko.
12. Come here. Unnecessary, okay.
DJ Ralph takes
Fouls on
requests
Chrome,
on
number
Twitter.
12. 1 minute, unnecessary roughness.
So Scanoni probably tweets him some musical requests before the game.
Ralph doesn't make very many mistakes. Look at this hit right here. Wisnauskas just letting Petey LaSalle know. Yeah, we may have met each other a couple of times in the college game, but you're in the PLL now. Logan will sit for a minute, though, because of that. Chrome on a little bit of a dry spell here. And it's not going to get better being man down.
They're not going to stay in this 1-4. You see 2 guys inside. This will change here in a moment.
Spot on. One of them's Dordovic, who's never on the crease.
Rowley's got Shannon-Chuck here. He shoots. Scanone makes the stop. Scanone's just been great. Now Dordovic. Tough angle. Shannon-Chuck high.
Heads
Look out.
up.
Scanone's got 13 saves now. Still plenty of time on this power play. Whips have already gotten a couple of good looks. Here's going to be another one. Shannon-Chuck, no mistake this time.
Yikes.
83 miles an hour. It looked like 103.
It's the release point and the accuracy. I mean, Kark, this is low to high, near pipe from a severe angle. This is about as difficult of a shot to execute. There is not a big window that he's aiming at there.
And what I love
That's
about this shot, yeah, that's a great look. What I love about this shot is he took like 2 prior shots in this extra man. Only a veteran would be like, okay, I'm going to do this a 3rd time because I know I'm one of the best shooters in the world. And if you give me a 3rd chance, I will stick it.
The release time is what gives goalies all sorts of nightmares, because if they can find that ball in the pocket and off the lip, they got a shot. That was only 83 miles an hour. Again, a great point. It felt like it was going 110.
Yes, it's because of how quick his hands are. So, you know, sometimes the long wind-up guy, Quint, and you know better than anyone as a goalie.
Yeah,
at
I
105,
find that ball
you
in the
can find
pocket.
it. 83, you can't find it.
Whips have scored 3 straight. Looking to tie things up here early going in the 4th quarter.
That Dunn pulled the string. He's wide open. His electric dog collar might be going off, though. He's got to get back to the other side.
He does.
They sending signals for those things?
Rambo. Slide comes. Now Smith backs off. Got Terefenko hung up. Dordovic. Scanoni saw it all the way in another unbelievable outlet. Look at this. Going the other way. And he finally is able to corral it.
RB, I don't know about you, but we haven't seen Rambo try to take Manley above goal line extended. You know, Rambo a lot of times likes those wing dodges from the left side. He's behind at X a lot.
He loves that left corner. They plant him on the left corner, Zed on the right corner, and those slam picks at goal line extended.
I haven't seen a lot of that. He's playing more of an X role where I love Rambo above goal line extended.
Messenger's shot steered aside by Bernlohr.
I think Manley's doing a really good job of sitting on his left, almost forcing him that way.
Tried the wraparound shot. Cross Ferrara, no good. Loose ball, though, picked up. Fresh shot clock, so this is a fresh 52 for Chrome with the change of possession. Long defensive stand here by Whips.
Good things have happened when Morrell's had the ball in his stick today. Now Hanley's got a short. I would have gone back to Hanley. It's going to end up there anyway.
A lot of contact around the crease. No call.
Go right back to Hanley.
Yeah, he's got a shorty.
Go right back to Hanley on that wing.
Instead, it's Morrell in front.
Another reset.
This is where you've got to hunt. You got to hunt the Hanley matchup.
Here he is.
Ooh,
with the help.
That's
Earhart.
the Mike Earhart slide. You're not in college anymore.
He covers a lot of ground. 28. Wow.
Under 10 to shoot. Can't get a good look at how about Bernlohr falling down and is able to make the save on his knees, and now we get a flag.
That was Earhart again with another slide.
Whipsnakes 28. 1 minute illegal body check. That play's under review.
So they'll review this illegal body check by Earhart.
Here's a look at Big Mike. You look at his last 5-year run from 2018 in the Tanya Israel MVP of the World Championships to 4 LSM PLL Position Player of the Year. I mean, he's
elbow a little high.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Look at the elbow here, the right elbow.
The elbow's high.
Yeah.
It also is hard at 6'5" when a guy's falling down to stop your momentum. But I don't know. I think of him, he's in a class of his own with some of the greats of all time. Quint knows too, like a Steve Mitchell, Brody Merrill at that LSM position. Who else is involved in that conversation, Quint?
Well, those guys, and you know, when I think about Brody, I think about perhaps the best off-ball defender in the game's history, close or pole. He's not a Dave Petramala on the ball, and so that's where Petro would take that.
Petro's my number one, but I look at him as a close guy. Like Earhart's always been an LSM.
Yeah, you're right. He's the standard right now. He's clearly
got Kyle
the
Sweeney,
gold standard for
Kyle
balls.
Sweeney's in that mix.
After review, the call stands. 1 minute unnecessary roughness, releasable penalty. Releasable. Thanks, man.
The thing that makes Earhart so special, his size and his length, like he has an orbit around him, and he's so fast. You can't really account for just how much space and ground he covers.
And his shooting. He led the league in 2-point attempts last year. I mean, this guy crosses the midline within 2 strides. He's pulling up.
Power play for Chrome. The lead now is scant 1 point as the Whips have mounted a comeback here. Chrome haven't scored a point since the midway point of the third quarter. Now midway through the fourth, it's Anderson once again. You heard Staggs talk about it in the first half. He has been their nemesis on so many occasions, and he continues to be so today.
He has. It's his 4th, Boyle.
He's distributing the rock, and this is some nice off-ball action here. You're going to see this little seal, and that creates all of this open space. To the right side of your screen is the shooter. That little rub and the late rotation over to Anderson.
This is, setting his feet, letting it rip.
Yeah, near pipe on the lefty. That's a tough location for Bernlohr. Bernlohr knew it was coming low, but he just didn't get any kind of move to that off-stick side. It's a perfect shot.
The thing about Morrow is he's got the 4 assists, 0 turnovers.
That's nuts.
You talk about risk-reward proposition. He just rarely makes a mistake.
Do you remember yesterday we were talking about your buddy Matt Strebel, how he was a better pro? I'm seeing that out of Justin Anderson. The last couple years,
for sure.
He is a better professional midfielder. This is no disrespect to his career at North Carolina than he was at the collegiate ranks.
No, to the point where I was surprised at his first year's success when he came out. It was like, okay, he's a pretty good midfielder at North Carolina. He really, his athleticism and space.
He's a better passer off the dodge as a pro. He's continued to improve dramatically. I thought he made a big leap his senior year at Carolina.
Shot clock violation.
Yeah, that senior year at Carolina, he was playing along with Tanner Cook and William Perry, that midfield line that felt like it was playing together for an eternity, right?
Yep.
With the
Two
COVID
pros
year.
with Chris Gray, right?
Yeah. Yep.
3 pros.
Yep. Well, and Perry didn't get drafted. We saw him earlier today. Cook and Anderson both did.
Hanley falling down in the middle of the field. Thought the Whips might be able to get some early offense. Instead, they back it out. They'll sub here. With a change of possession, they get a full 52, so they'll have time to sub in and sub out. Shannonchuk has had a heck of a game. Draws the slide. Over to Tucker. He's got a shorty on him. That shot hits his own teammate, Lully.
Teammates are going to have to get used to playing with Dordovic, who's a high-volume shooter. And the one thing about him is he shoots about as quick out of a roll as anyone you'll see. Like that is a staple move of his. So if you're a teammate, you're playing defense against him, he is shot ready immediately off that roll.
There's Morrill, back to the far side. The rookie Cross Ferrara, he's had an outstanding game. Eacock shoots wide, a lot of pace on that shot. Morrill looking to dodge. Anderson from distance. Bernlohr saw that one all the way.
Over and back.
Yeah,
Over and back.
Yeah, it's good sight, good eyesight. Matty Palin was right on it.
This guy's a Hawkeye.
Yeah. Turnover.
You got contacts or glasses yet, Boyle, or you're not at that stage?
I'm over here with like Coke bottle glasses. Barely see the hand in front of my face. Winding down to 4 minutes. This one has all the makings of another nail biter like the two we had on Saturday.
Ferrara's got to step upfield or work underneath and dive across the crease there. It's a beautiful skip pass by Hanley to create the advantage.
It's understanding where the ball rotation's coming, right? Getting towards ball rotation, you'll be a step up.
Or quickly catch and get underneath.
Morrill, GLE, now comes upfield. Puglisi all over him. Wisnauskas, though, is going to get it on the far side. Increases his angle, but can't get it through all the bodies in front.
It's the length of the Whips defense, knocking down everything.
Timeout by Stags. Down 2, 3:11 left to go in this fourth quarter.
Kelly does. Ices games.
Yep, had the overtime winner in our game earlier today for the Water Dogs, the defending champs. Open up 1-0. Rambo thought about taking that shot, now gets it to Kessenich up top. Coming out of a timeout, not exactly how the Whipsnakes wanted to go about things.
Critical possession here to keep it at a 2-goal margin if you're Whipsnakes. That 2-goal, 1 possession. Because you've got some shooters from 2-point range, plenty of time still. So Chrome, you really got to press here to get this to 3.
What's interesting, if you get a reset, it's not 52 anymore, it's 32.
Boyle coming all the way up top.
Hanley's got to show up here.
Tried to force it inside to him.
No one's on him at X.
The McIntosh has it. Gets it inside Anderson. Everything was going Anderson's way, so why not take that shot? Doesn't go. Now just 3 seconds. You got to think they're going to dump this into the corner and set up their ride. They do. So shot clock violation against Chrome, but they were able to work the clock under 2 minutes. Now Whips are going to try and do what they weren't able to do on that last offensive possession, coming out of the timeout and get a good shot. Ledman and Kessenich at the midfield. Let's see who else comes in from the substitution box.
There's a flag down, offsides. Get a quick shot off.
They do,
Yeah,
man.
too many.
Wow.
Too many for the Chrome here, offsides.
Very quick shot from Manny, but it
Fouls
sails
on
over.
Chrome, number 26. 30-second technical. Offsides.
No, but I like that. Get that quick shot. See what you can get on Cage. If you can get a cheap one, fine. If you can't, let's get on the power play sooner rather than later to save more clock.
Yeah, you should be in a rush to go 6-on-5 rather than kill more clock all even.
What are you thinking here in terms of twos, Ryan?
Well, Kessenich the obvious one.
Dordovic can slam it from 2 also, but he's 1 for 12 shooting today.
You take it if you have a nice alley and a shot you like.
You don't need a 2 per se, obviously.
Kahn gets a good look and buries it.
Here's the deal, you have these perimeter shooters, and because of where we are game scenario, the threat of 2 concerns Chrome. So they're pressing outside, and where's the opening? It's Keegan Kong inside because of all of the help to a guy like Kessenich and Dordovic creates this seam.
And they scored quickly enough where even if you lose this face-off, now with the new 32, you've got ample juice left for an offensive possession plus a timeout in your back pocket.
Yeah, the draw is critical, but not nearly as critical as it once was. Farrell wins it. But he turns it right over.
Do you call timeout here? Using a lot of time in this sub game.
Yes, he's calling timeout.
Yeah, I think he wanted to see if he can get something quick, and then if not, call the timeout, which is what they're doing.
He's a playmaker late in the game, and they know that Dordovic's got that wicked rollback. So if Dordovic leans in and turns directions, expect to see a quick double. He said, late in the shot clock, you got to go. Don't be afraid to double here.
Here's Rambo. Manley's on him. They body up. Dordovic on the run.
Rambo said, if I don't have it, you better be ready to dodge. He wasn't able to gain advantage, and the luxury the Whipsnakes have now with their new draft pick is he can dodge, Cark.
Spot on. Everybody knows when the game's on the line, Matt Rambo wants the rock. He was almost like the decoy. Jesse Bernhardt was saying in the huddle that Quint told us, you have to watch Rambo. Well, Dordovic's up top. all the help is sloughing to the Dodger on the left side, and Rambo, you left a guy alone who's about as two-handed as it comes. He's a righty, and he stings it to the bottom corner in the left hand.
And Scanoni didn't even see it. You could see his reaction, talking to his defenseman like, hey, you got to get out of the way.
Now this is a huge face-off. Farrell wins it. Look at sticks flying. Sticks flying.
He's fired up.
Yeah, that was an intense face-off.
The Rock.
We had an overtime thriller in our first game of this doubleheader today. Will we get another one, or will we get a last-minute goal to end it all? Ferrara hits nothing but grass, but he'll stay with Chrome.
I'd give Hanley a spin here. I know he's going against Michael Earhart.
I'd call another timeout.
Look at Hanley. Just a locomotive coming upfield. Question mark, bounces that one wide.
I'd call timeout here.
You got 11 seconds to shoot, 10 in the game. It's basically evened up.
You got one.
I would agree with you, because you don't want Cross Ferrara making this last play.
Looks like he's going to against Warner. Can he get free? Shoots and scores! Maybe you do want Cross Ferrara to make the last play.
Eat your words, Kark.
The announcer jinx.
A rookie, late draft pick, coming to the party.
Playing with house money with Malloy out this week. Is fresh off a national championship. So we talked about Ryder Garnsey. We haven't talked about the championship carryover for Ferrara.
Petey's going to give him a chance, though. He takes the shot, can't get it on Cage. Still 1.8 left to go. Petey always wins big face-offs. Can they get a shot? No, can't get it off in time. It was desperation all the way for Whips. And Chrome with a great finish, wrapping up a great weekend of lacrosse.